welcome to the Transverse Line, where we make contact with people on and off the court through Victoria's premier netball competition. My name's Angela Banbury. Thanks so much for joining us. It's NAIDOC week, it's First Nations round at the VNL, so we're here at the State Netball Centre where we'll find a coach, player, umpire, bench official, whoever it might be, to have a chat to them about their netball journey. So enjoy the Transverse Line and let's have a little bit of fun through netball. Welcome back to the Transverse Line. I'm joined by Holly Stevens. Welcome,
Hi.
Holly.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you. So with the Casey Demons, you've been with them for a number of years now. Tell us a little bit about your journey to get to Casey.
Yep. So I originally was just playing, obviously, local netball. And then for Longwarry.
Yeah, good. Shout out. Yep.
And then I think one of the Casey coaches was umpiring us at Longwarry against Katani.
Oh.
Well,
you would have put in a good performance, of course. Yep.
And they'd asked me if I wanted to come up and just have a go at Casey. I think it was for the future Demons. So, I went and had a little training and they invited me to be part of the squad for the whole time, which that was must have been like 2021, so sort of COVID.
Yep.
And then... so I did Future Demons that year, and then the next year I tried out for the VNL, and I was lucky enough to make it into the 19s team. So played 19s for 2 years, and then 23s for this year, obviously, and last year as well. So been to Casey for almost 5 years now.
Nice one. And have you still got a few years left in the 23s?
Yes, I do. I've still got 2 more years, so I feel really old, but no, it's been good.
Nice one. So you just said Longwarry, obviously that's where you've grown up, but it's not where you play now. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
I'm playing at the moment in the Gippsland League for Morwell, so I just wanted to push myself and give myself a better chance to learn things and play against maybe some better people. So it's been a good challenge and I've really enjoyed it, and I feel like it has pushed me in netball to this point. So it's been a good change up. But,
and home's always home.
Yeah,
you know
sure.
where to go.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, car will take you there eventually. Nice one. So obviously at the Casey Demons, it's First Nations round today or this week for the VNL. Do you have a certain involvement in that? Tell us a little bit about your heritage and what's so important about First Nations round.
So I'm a proud Kurnai woman from Gippsland, obviously. For First Nations round, I have quite a lot of involvement, obviously, playing, and then I like to be a sort of role model at my club per se. So I like to, we had a sort of education session on Monday at training, and I like to be a part of that and push for those things to happen, just so First Nations round isn't just about wearing obviously pretty dress and everything. It's about that education and everything around that. So and also being a part of the First Nations team, I feel like it is my part to be able to show my girls on my team the education and to be able to obviously support this round.
So we've interviewed Noel on the Transverse Line, who's your coach with the First Nations team. So tell us a little bit about that first year. How exciting was it to be a part of?
Oh, it was so exciting. It was literally the best experience. It was my first time playing a Netball Oz tournament. But I think it was so much bigger than netball at the end of the day. Obviously we all had such a great time out there, and I loved meeting all the people, but it was really great to be able to put the dress on and sort of I like to think of it as I was paying respect to obviously my elders who probably obviously didn't have the chance to be able to do such things and probably would have been able to, and then I also like to be able to think that I'm paving the pathway for future girls. So it was so important and such a great tournament to be a part of, and I'm so excited to do it again.
Your mum, I obviously know your family well, and your mum, so she does a lot as well in this space. Tell us a little bit about what it means to you. You live on country as well, so tell us a little bit about, you call yourself a proud Kurnai woman. What does that mean? How does that, it's hard to explain, I guess, and for me to be able to understand, but tell us a little bit about, in your words, what that means.
So it means so much. Obviously my mum and my grandma are both Aboriginal women as well, and I love to see them out in community and giving the talks and everything, spreading the education and awareness. For me, living on country means heaps because that's where my family grew up, and it's all about our history that we've obviously shared, and I feel like of obviously connectiveness to my culture being at home and everything, and I just couldn't imagine it any other way. So it's really important to me, and I love to see my mum out there doing great things as well as my gran, and they're both very good people in the community. But yeah.
Yeah, and then you just sort of said about being a role model, how you can use netball as a vehicle for change. Talk us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so obviously I feel like I'm a bit of a role model in the community. I really like my big thing is that I want to sort of make sport like a place for everyone, obviously, and I feel as though I'm playing a part in that by playing in the First Nations team or even just playing in the VNL comp. Like there's heaps of the girls on the First Nations team who were here tonight as well, and like hopefully maybe next year they're going to feel more at home trying out for VNL clubs and stuff like that. So that's my, like, I want young girls or like anyone who's young or anyone in general just to get moving, and like I want them to feel like they can actually come out into these environments and that they are culturally safe. And I just, because I know that there's people that obviously still don't feel safe to do these things. So I hope that I'm spreading awareness in some sort of way like that.
Yeah. NAIDOC Week is a week of celebration for First Nations people. As we've had National Reconciliation Week, which is about that education piece and understanding. Tell us a little bit about NAIDOC Week. What does it mean to yourself or an Aboriginal woman in terms of how you can celebrate?
Yeah, I love NAIDOC Week. It's such a great week to celebrate, and I think, like, obviously, like you said, Reconciliation Week's about more education and everything, and this week's just like more about celebrating our culture and our long history, like, and everyone who's in it, and like all our allies as well. So this week is very important because I do feel like majority of the time we're just like trying to do education and stuff. So this week to like be celebrated and acknowledged for any Indigenous person is just like a really great week to be a part of, and it's it definitely keeps community together and strong. So
nice one. Last question to wrap things up. What's your dream going forward? What do you hope to achieve through netball? And I know you work in a space that allows you to be a part of community as well. Yeah. What do you hope for the future?
Yeah, I hope, like I said, my big hope is like to get people out and moving and to make sure that everybody feels included everywhere. Like, it breaks my heart to think about the fact that like some people might not try out for a team or even just like go to a certain school or whatever it is because they don't feel like they're going to be accepted and their culture's going to be accepted there. So that's really my big hope for the future, is that we're all included and everyone's culture is celebrated. But I hope obviously my little role in that is just in my community, feeling like making people feel welcome as well, and going out and doing clinics or whatever I need to do to be able to make people feel that way. And then in netball, like I've spoken about, just do my part and show girls or show whoever that it can be done and that this space is culturally for them. And
Absolutely. Holly, I'm from your area and I am super proud of what your family, particularly your mum, and you do for your community, for your heritage, and teaching people like myself and those that are within the netball community, you know, how we should be working together to ensure that everyone, as you said, feels safe and included and uses netball as an opportunity to progress in whatever they choose to do. So thank you for joining us on the Transverse Line. A little gift to you from Energetic.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling us your story, and education is, as your mum always says, education is the key. So thanks for joining us on the Transverse Line. Thanks. Welcome back to the Transverse Line. I'm joined by AJ Ballantyne from Hawks Netball. Welcome, AJ.
Thanks, Ash. Good to be on.
Yeah. Is there a thing about AJ? Does anyone know anything other than AJ? What's the go here?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Adrian, but no one knows me as Adrian. I once had players get a letter saying their coach was Adrian, and they were like, "I've got a new coach. We don't know who it is," but it's actually it's Adrian. James is my middle name, and my dad's also Adrian as well, so I used to get Adrian Jr., so that's a J too. So
nice one. So AJ, it's stuck. Everyone knows you.
That's it. That's my name.
Love it. So head coach of Hawks Netball. Tell us a little bit about how you've found yourself at the Hawks.
I've been at Hawks since 2017 now. Wow. So what's that? 8-9 years.
Subtract the two.
Yep. I was at another VNL club before that, Ariels, is unfortunately no longer in the league, but was there for a good number of years as well. And it was a good time for a change. Came across, spoke to Shano, had a chat to the committee, and we all felt like it was a good fit, and been here ever since. I love it. It feels like home. Couldn't see myself anywhere else.
Perfect. So obviously the Hawks are travelling well with championship. Tell us a little bit about what's happening, and then obviously 3 games to go?
Yeah, 3 games to a finals, and we're currently sitting third in championship, which is great. Yeah, look, I guess when I arrived at the club, sort of hadn't been in that championship final space for a little while, and I was originally with Div 1, now with championship the last couple of years. And yeah, it's something we've sort of been building towards, is being a team that's playing finals consistently, and we obviously played last year, and it's exciting to be locked in for finals again this year. And yeah, it's a young group, it's an exciting group, and yeah, I guess a group that we've kind of been building over a few years together.
Yeah. And of course, you would have had the news, you would have been one of the first ones to know that Kaylee Stanton, who started helping us out here with the first few interviews, was pregnant.
Yep.
Did that throw the spanner in the works?
It did. Yeah, that was sort of after we'd done selections and everything during pre-season. Kaylee asked for a coffee. I had a little sneaking suspicion, but was sort of, obviously incredibly excited for her, but at the time maybe a couple of percentage of me just sort of thinking, oh, it'd be great if she could just hold off. But yeah, no, she called.
Kaylee, come on.
She asked for a coffee, and yeah, we had a good chat, and she told me news, which is obviously incredibly exciting. Certainly, always welcome another baby into the Hawks fold. But yeah, she's been around right up until a couple of weeks to go in before she gave birth, and she's been back since. She'll be here tonight, so yeah, she's back on deck.
Yeah, nice one. So the replacement, tell us a little bit about. She come over from Tassie.
Yeah, so Ash Moore. Yeah, as I said, when Kaylee told us news, I might have started making phone calls and inquiries in different places as soon as I got in the car afterwards. But yeah, Ash just probably ready for an opportunity and ready to try something different. She's obviously dominated down in Tasmania for a long time. So yeah, I just sent her a message on Instagram actually, and she replied and said, look, I'm keen to have a chat about it. And yeah, a few weeks later, here we were. She came over in January once, because she's a teacher, so she finished out the school year. So got a job here, got a place to live, and yeah, she's just slotted in perfectly. She's been amazing. She's a great person, and the girls all really love playing with her. So yeah,
love hearing that. So playing the Casey Demons tonight, that's a big game.
Yeah.
What is it, third versus fourth?
Third versus fourth in champ, yeah.
So what's the ramifications? What's the ladder? What happens?
I think they're a game behind, and I think, and some percentage behind. So yeah,
and then strikers are one game behind them. So it's the old 8-point game.
That's
kind
right.
of thing.
That's right. It's a really important one. And look, I mean, to be honest, it's probably a bit of momentum, towards the end of the season for both teams as well. You obviously want to be coming into finals in a few weeks in winning form. So, and there's probably a good chance that we end up playing them in finals as well if both teams are going well. So good chance to try a few things, a few different combinations, and yeah, hopefully come away with another win. We obviously played them all the way back in round one, which was a long time ago, and I think they've probably developed and grown as a team since then as well. So yeah, exciting.
Yeah. Netball in your household? How does that go?
It's pretty much all that happens in our household, it feels like sometimes. Yeah, Caitlin actually, for those who don't know, Caitlin, my wife, is a player at North East Blaze in Championship, so they're always fun weeks when we play against them. But yeah, she actually stays at her parents' house on a Wednesday night, which is probably a good thing. Depending on who's had a good game or who hasn't had a good game, yeah, we're probably better to just, have the night off and just not talk about it. But yeah, look,
that's called netball and chill.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, netball and chill. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, it's probably netball does dominate a lot of the conversation in our household, but that's how we met in the first place a lot of years ago. So yeah, we both love it. We've sort of built our lives around netball in a lot of ways. So yeah.
I don't want to keep you too long, but there is a lot of netball. What are the other things you've been with Netball Vic and the programs? Tell us a little bit about the work that you do there.
Yeah, so look, I've sort of, worked my way through the Netball Victoria pathway as well. Started in Talent Academy, coaching the Central East girls there, which was great, and I loved that. I was an apprentice coach for a year in the 17 understate program. Unfortunately, that was the COVID year, so didn't get to actually go to nationals, which sucked, but that happens. But yeah, enjoyed that experience, and then a couple of years later, I was lucky enough to get the 17 and under assistant coach role, which I did with Tracy Brereton. I learned a lot, did 19s with her last year, and then this year was my first year as a head coach in the 19 and under program. So,
and medalled?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we made it to the gold medal game, which is something that hadn't happened for 5 or 6 years in 19. So that was really exciting, and I think for a lot of those girls that had sort of come through and never quite made it to that gold medal game, was really special. We obviously didn't win. It was a very strong New South Wales team that we played in the final, but we gave it a real crack, and very proud of the girls.
Yeah, nice one. And then there's the netball coach.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that one.
So yeah, I wasn't
Netball,
lying when I
netball.
said that netball was our lives. So I run the Netball Coach, which is a netball coaching video resource for coaches, grassroots coaches, I guess you'd say. Coaches that are looking to develop their skills. It's just, drills and videos that they can watch and kind of see other coaches or more experienced coaches coaching those drills, and I guess develop their own coaching that way. So I've been doing that for coming up towards 10 years now, 10 years now, and it's a really good community of coaches who take a lot out of it. So
almost the front runner in terms of that development of those online platforms to be able to get the drill off there and then implement it at a training night. But, I put my hand up. I have been a regular user of it, that's for sure.
Oh, look, it was just something that I felt like that I wish that I'd had access to, something like that when I started out coaching. Obviously, not everyone has access to an elite coach that they can bounce things off or have them look over their coaching. So just giving people access to that sort of learning and those sort of development opportunities. Obviously, people particularly from regional areas and that sort of thing, it's hard to get that kind of those resources.
And that's one of the biggest things for a coach at a footy netball club or an association out in the country, particularly, that what's the drill? What are we always going to do? How do we reinvigorate things? How do we keep it fresh for the group of players that we have? So so get onto the Netball Coach.
Jump on.
Yep, exactly. The app and all that sort of stuff, easy to use. AJ, thanks so much for joining us. A little gift from Energetic for you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck
Appreciate that.
for the rest of the season. We'll be watching on to see how the Hawks travel in Championship, and they go okay in the 23s as well.
Yep, fingers crossed for tonight.
Yep. Good
Thanks,
luck.
Ange.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Thanks to DHM Talent Management, we'll whip through the scores of round 16, First Nations round of the VNL, and we'll start with the 23s, where it was the Wilson Storage Southern Saints defeating Peninsula Waves 70-58. Hawks Netball got the win over Casey Demons 53-45. Northeast Blaze, after their first loss last week on the weekend, defeated Melbourne University Lightning by just one goal, 55-54. And Burundara Express, too good for the Gippsland Stars, 58-45. Still 2 games to go in round 16, and we'll see them both played on the weekend, with Bendigo Strikers hosting the Western Warriors and Geelong Cougars up against the City West Falcons. In the Championship Division, Wilson Storage Southern Saints, too good for the Peninsula Waves, 77-54. Casey Demons got the win over the Hawks Netball, a real close match, 56-51. That evens them up on the ladders, both on the same points, sitting 3rd and 4th. Melbourne University Lightning going down to Northeast Blaze, 51-65. And the Gippsland Stars, they went down to Burundara Express, 31-68. Of course, again, Bendigo Strikers meeting the Western Warriors and Geelong Cougars taking on the City West Falcons on the weekend. Of course, those scores are brought to you by DHM Talent Management. That's it for another episode of the Transverse Line. Thanks so much for joining us. A big thank you to our partners, both DHM Talent Management and Energetic, for all of your support. Of course, thank you to AJ Ballantyne and Holly Stevens for their time talking about their netball journey. So until next week, when you come back to the Transverse Line, I hope you have a little bit of fun through netball.